Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. All right, as we end this week, I'm walking down the streets of Oxford, and look, the Eagle and Child. That's the famous pub where the Inklings met. The Inklings were guys like Owen Barfield, J.R.R. Tolkien, and of course C.S. Lewis. And they were all Oxford guys who would sit around and over a pint of their favorite Diet Coke or ale, they would discuss their writings. And I'm reminded of C.S. Lewis, who popularized an argument that you've got to, if you confront who Jesus is, you've got to decide that he's basically one of three things. He's either a liar or a lunatic, or he's the Lord. Those are really the three choices you've got. And it's not that different from the way that his own followers, his closest, the apostles, treated him. And I get that from a passage in John chapter 13 that I want to talk to you about right now. So I referenced this earlier when I talked about Maundy Thursday. It comes at the heels of Jesus washing his apostles' feet, which was very, very, very menial slave type work to be done. But at the end, Jesus says to his disciples something that's very, very important. He says, "You call me teacher and Lord." And that's what they'd call him, teacher being rabbi, Lord being a title of reverence. He says, "You call me teacher and Lord, and so I am." And then he says, "But if I, your Lord and teacher," and look at that flip. You see the way he flips it? He says, "You've been calling me teacher first and then Lord." But the key is, flip it around. I'm Lord first and then teacher. And so he says, if I, your Lord and teacher, tell you this, then you ought to do what I say. And Jesus' point was, he was making an example when he washed their feet and teaching us that we should serve other people like that. Now, let me bother you for just a minute and throw in a grenade for your brain to explode you on this Friday. When Jesus washes the feet of the apostles, who's there? Yes, Judas Iscariot. Jesus even washes Judas's feet right on the eve of the betrayal. Now that's pretty incredible, but that's the servant heart of Jesus. By the way, that's also why Judas has no excuse. He wasn't getting treated differently than everybody else. He was similarly loved and served by the Lord. So as I stand outside the Eagle and Child restaurant, I'm sitting here thinking, how do I respond to Jesus? Is he teacher first and then Lord? Or do I give Lord that preeminent position in my life? Do I truly say, this is someone worth giving my life to, someone worth following, someone of greater significance than a liar or a lunatic? That's something for you to chew on this weekend as your video thought for the day. We're pulling into Easter weekend today. Pesach starts for the Jewish people, so good Pesach to you. Good Friday and blessed Easter to my Christian followers. And to those of you who watch this who are neither, at least I've given you maybe something to think about. Who was this fella? Liar, lunatic, or Lord? It's your video thought for the day.